The phone call lasted 7 minutes. Benjamin Netanyahu to Keir Starmer. No pleasantries, no diplomacy. Your foreign secretary called for ceasefire. Tell him to shut up or face consequences. Not a request, a threat. Starmer tried responding. Prime Minister, Britain has the right to express. Netanyahu interrupted. You have the right to stay silent. Use it. The line went dead. Starmer sat in stunned silence. The Israeli Prime Minister had just told Britain's leader to shut up. And the worst part? Starmer was about to comply. Because standing up to Netanyahu meant destroying his own party. And Keir Starmer would choose party survival over principles every single time. How did it get here? October 7th, 2023. Hamas attacked Israel. Horrific, brutal, indefensible. Starmer's response was immediate and clear. Israel has every right to defend itself. Reasonable position, widely supported. Then Israel's response began. Gaza bombardment, thousands dead, humanitarian crisis. And Starmer kept saying the same thing. Israel has the right to defend itself. Labor MPs started getting uncomfortable. Constituents demanding ceasefire calls, protests outside offices. Starmer refused to shift. We support Israel's right to security. November 2023. Labor conference descended into chaos. Members demanding ceasefire motion. Leadership blocking it. Composite motion proposed. Call for immediate ceasefire and end to collective punishment. Starmer's team killed it. Forced through alternative. Support for humanitarian pauses. The difference? Everything. Ceasefire meant stop the war. Humanitarian pause meant brief pause, then continue. Labor activists were furious. Walked out. Chanted ceasefire now during Starmer's speech. He ignored them, plowed forward, chose not to anger Israel over listening to his own party. December 2023. Shadow cabinet resignations began. Junior ministers quitting over Starmer's Israel position, MPs rebelling, councilors resigning, each resignation statement similar. Cannot support leadership's stance on Gaza. Starmer's response? Replace them with loyalists. Double down on Israel support. Because he'd made a calculation losing the left was acceptable if it proved labor was serious on security. But the bleeding didn't stop. January 2024, Muslim labor voters started abandoning the party. Constituencies with large Muslim populations seeing collapse in labor support. Bradford, Birmingham, Leicester, Tower Hamlets. Polling showed 67% of British Muslims who voted Labour in 2019 wouldn't in 2024. Starmer's team dismissed it. They'll come back. Where else will they go? Fatal miscalculation? Because they went to independents, to Greens, to anyone who called for ceasefire. February 2024, Rochdale by-election delivered the warning. George Galloway won, running explicitly on Gaza. This is for Gaza, he declared in victory speech. Labor came forth, humiliated in a safe seat. Starmer blamed Galloway's rhetoric, refused to see the real message voters were rejecting Labor's Israel position. March 2024, Netanyahu escalated in Gaza. Rafah invasion. Starvation used as weapon. International condemnation mounting. Even U.S. was criticizing Israel. Even Biden calling for restraint. But Starmer, still saying Israel has right to defend itself, Labor MPs begged him to shift. We're losing voters. We're losing counselors. We're losing our moral authority. Starmer was unmoved. We're not wavering on Israel's security. April 2024 local elections catastrophe. Labor lost seats in Muslim-majority areas. Independent candidates winning on single-issue Gaza. Birmingham lost. Bradford lost. Multiple councils flipped. Post-election analysis was damning. Labor's Gaza position cost them urban England. Starmer's response? Blamed single-issue voting and misinformation. Never blamed his own position. May 2024 Netanyahu sensed Starmer's weakness. Started making demands, not requests, demands. Britain must vote against UN ceasefire resolutions. Britain must block ICC investigations. Britain must condemn South Africa's genocide case. And Starmer complied with everything because he tied himself so completely to Israel that he couldn't untie without admitting catastrophic error. June 2024, Labor MPs started open rebellion, dozens signing ceasefire letters, speaking at protests, defying whip-on votes, Starmer threatened suspensions. Some quit preemptively. The party was fracturing not over policy details, but over fundamental moral question. And Starmer had chosen Israel over party unity. July 2024. Labor won election despite Gaza, not because of anything. Conservatives imploded, reform split the vote, Labor won by default. But the victory was hollow. Labor lost vote share in Muslim areas, lost activists, lost moral authority. Starmer became prime minister, but inherited a broken party. August 2024. Netanyahu immediately tested the new PM, demanded Britain support new Gaza offensive. No humanitarian concerns, just total support. Starmer's first test as PM. He could finally pivot, show independence, prove he'd lead, not follow. Instead, he agreed. Foreign Secretary David Lammy gave statements supporting Israel's defensive operation. Labor backbenchers erupted, but Starmer didn't care. Because Netanyahu had something over him, the accusation that Labor was soft on terrorism. One Netanyahu statement calling Starmer weak on security could destroy Labor's electoral credibility. So Starmer submitted, repeatedly. September 2024, humanitarian crisis in Gaza reached apocalyptic levels. UN calling it genocide. ICJ investigating. Aid agencies reporting mass starvation. Britain's position? Israel has right to defend itself. Lammy tried softening language. We're concerned about humanitarian situation. Netanyahu called Starmer directly. Control your foreign secretary or I'll destroy you politically. The threat was explicit and effective. Next day, Lammy's statement was retracted, replaced with stronger pro-Israel language. Netanyahu had demonstrated he controlled British foreign policy more than Britain did. October 2024, Labor Conference was war zone. Members demanding emergency motion on Gaza, leadership blocking it again. Composite motion forced through, condemn Hamas, support Israel's security, hope for peace. No ceasefire call, no arms embargo, nothing. Delegates booed Starmer's speech, walked out during standing ovation, chanted genocide enabler, the party was consuming itself. November 2024, then Netanyahu made his boldest move, announced plans for permanent Gaza occupation, annexation in all but name. International condemnation was universal, UN, EU, US. Everyone opposed. Britain's position? Silence. Starmer refused to condemn it, refused to support it, just silence. Because condemning Netanyahu meant admitting he'd been wrong for a year. And Keir Starmer would rather watch Gaza burn than admit error. December 2024, Labor MPs started defecting, not to other parties, but to independent status. I cannot remain in a party that enables genocide. Each defection weakened Starmer's majority. Each one made headlines, but still, he wouldn't shift. January 2025, Netanyahu's contempt became obvious. He stopped taking Starmer's calls, ignored British diplomatic requests, made decisions affecting British citizens in Israel without consultation. When Starmer protested privately, Netanyahu's response leaked. Britain is irrelevant. Your opinion doesn't matter. The humiliation was total. Britain's prime minister being dismissed by a foreign leader he defended unconditionally. February 2025. Gaza death toll passed 100,000, mostly civilians, mostly children, documented by international agencies. Britain's response? Still nothing meaningful. Starmer gave interview defending his position. Calling for ceasefire won't bring peace. Israel needs security. The interviewer asked, at what cost? How many dead children before you call for it to stop? Starmer deflected. These are complex geopolitical situations. The clip went viral, not because he was wrong on facts, because he looked soulless. March 2025, Muslim communities organized, not just protests, political organizing. Independent candidates for every constituency with significant Muslim population. Their platform, single issue. Stop supporting genocide. Labor's Muslim vote collapsed from 86% to 31%. Starmer's team panicked, but he still wouldn't shift position, because shifting now meant admitting the last year was catastrophic moral failure. April 2025, Netanyahu announced West Bank annexation, illegal under international law, condemned globally, even U.S. opposed it. Britain's position? We're studying the situation. Translation, we won't oppose it. Labor MPs demanded Starmer condemn it. He refused. 3 more MPs resigned the whip. May 2025, local elections showed the damage. Muslim majority areas saw Labor wipe out. Independents winning on Gaza platform. Bradford, Birmingham, Leicester, all lost to independent candidates. Post-election analysis. Labor's Gaza position has destroyed urban coalition. Starmer blamed extremism and single-issue politics. Never blamed himself. June 2025, then came the ICC arrest warrants. International Criminal Court issued warrants for Netanyahu and Hamas leaders. War crimes charges. Britain's legal obligation? Arrest Netanyahu if he enters UK. Starmer's response? We're reviewing our legal obligations. Translation. We're looking for a loophole to ignore ICC. The hypocrisy was staggering. Labour had supported ICC for Putin, for Assad, for every war criminal except Israel's leader. July 2025, 1 year since taking power. Starmer had achieved nothing on Israel-Palestine. Not peace, not justice, not even influence. Just unconditional support that bought him nothing. Netanyahu still ignored him, still dismissed Britain, still made decisions without consultation. All cost, no benefit. Except one he'd avoided being called antisemitic. That was the real calculation. Starmer believed any criticism of Israel would be weaponized as anti-Semitism. So he chose unlimited support over moral consistency. August 2025. Gaza was uninhabitable. Infrastructure destroyed. Population displaced. Famine widespread. Britain had supplied diplomatic cover for all of it. And Starmer, still defending every decision. September 2025. The breaking point came. Netanyahu gave interview dismissing Starmer as weak leader of declining power. After everything, after unconditional support, after defending indefensible, after sacrificing party unity. Netanyahu still viewed Starmer with contempt because Netanyahu understood what Starmer didn't. Unconditional support from the weak has no value. October 2025. Labor polling showed catastrophe approaching. Party losing Muslim voters permanently, losing young voters over Gaza, losing moral authority, and gaining nothing. Pro-Israel voters still voted conservative anyway. Starmer had destroyed Labor's coalition for imaginary electoral benefit. November 2025, by-election in Muslim majority seat. Labor lost to Independent by 15,000 votes. Safe seat since 1950, gone in one night. Exit polls clear, Gaza, Gaza, Gaza. Starmer gave interview insisting he'd made right decisions. Nobody believed him. December 2025 today. Benjamin Netanyahu announces new Gaza offensive. Worse than before. Keir Starmer is expected to respond. The world watching. He gives statement. Israel has right to defend itself. The same words. For 2 years, while 100,000 died. Labor MPs walk out of Commons. Constituents resign memberships. Voters abandon the party. And Netanyahu doesn't even acknowledge Britain's support anymore because he doesn't need to. Starmer will give it anyway. The cameras turn to Jerusalem. Netanyahu planning next moves knowing Britain will support whatever he does. The cameras turn to London Starmer defending another indefensible position, losing another piece of his party. 2 leaders, 1 war. Complete imbalance of power. Netanyahu does what he wants. Starmer enables it. Labor dies slowly. Gaza burns continuously. And Keir Starmer still saying the same thing. Israel has the right to defend itself, no matter the cost, no matter who dies, no matter what it destroys Gaza, Labor, his own moral authority. Because admitting error would be worse than enabling genocide. That's the calculation. That's the choice. That's who Keir Starmer is. And Labor is paying the price.